Hello, 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 hello. Gonna wait for folks to join us tonight. I'm gonna let people know uh, a gazillion questions have come in this week, especially after this weekend. I'm gonna keep this to approximately 20 minutes. I want to remind everyone that finds their way to this video, these types of live Q&As are for you. So if you have a question and you're on YouTube or you're on Twitter or X, obviously YouTube, and you have a specific question, please feel free to fire away, and I will go ahead and put my spectacles on. Mr. Keynes, Hattiesburg Regional, go Canes. I spoke to Coach JD a couple weeks ago. They really finished the ACC really strong, and what a great weekend of baseball. I don't really want to talk about who wins, who loses. I mean, I literally am glued to ESPN Squeeze Play. I start on Friday and I go right up and through this evening, and it's going to be a great finish to the regionals, and then obviously next week the super regionals. I would love to see some of the old school like Miami USC kind of get into that super regional, kind of change things up a little bit. Rooting for, obviously this has been a great weekend for what we want to call the underdog. But tonight's topic is going to be June 2nd, tomorrow. We are now on June 1st. Happy June, happy official almost summer. And I thought it would be a good idea to get out in front of this. And really what led me to want to do this is because I think a lot of parents in high school are panicking, and they're panicking in such a way that they are trying to listen to all people that are throwing out all kinds of crazy options. And I really want to try to deliver a message as succinctly as I can. Again, it is just my opinion. And so I'm going to throw some things out here that I hope parents and student athletes can find some value from. Before I go any further, I want to throw a couple of things out with regard to Baseball Blue Book. Folks, if there's one kind of must-have foundation piece that is completely free. Now, when I say this, people say, "Oh, I have perfect game and I have PBR." I get it. But, in order to get your gadgets and gadgets out of those, you have to pay a monthly subscription. Whereas with the Blue Book, you put it in there for free. What's the value of the Baseball Blue Book? Let me tell you, a lot of coaches now, more than ever before, are going to resources that they trust. And one of the values and one of the dynamics of the Blue Book is, when we're putting videos out of your student athletes and we're promoting those athletes, they have their academic transcript, they have their criteria, where they live, what city, what high school, all of their social media handles, so forth and so on. And I get a lot of coaches that say, "Hey, Walt, I saw you put a catcher up there the other day, and we'll interact and we'll engage." And again, I keep going back to this one young man, and his name is Jackson Healy, but he's put some videos out on Baseball Blue Book, and he was an all-star within his league, a high school league in Massachusetts, plays at a really very, very strong high school program here, Acton Boxborough. And I have coaches all the time that say, "Hey, your Healy kid looks like he can play." So my point is, the Blue Book simply offers you a platform to put your information out to the baseball world. YouTube is really filled with, recipes and sewing and, all kinds of other topics. But with regard to the Blue Book, it's all sports, obviously baseball, but go ahead and create a free profile. Next, parents, I want you to understand, college recruiting it's much different than it's ever been before. It's never going back to the way it used to be. And when I say that, I mean with regard to the travel ball leading to the showcase, leading to the camp, leading to recruiting at 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. Those days are gone. They are done. They are over. And that's what we're going to cover tonight. And so when I put out videos for courses, my books that are behind me here, they're all available on my YouTube channel, and I have thousands of videos that people are now finding that I created 2-3 years ago. Parents, you need to educate yourself. Athletes, you need to understand the process is different. So let's start there. In this industry, and this is a business, it used to be that the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th graders were the entree, and the older athletes were, okay, maybe. It's completely inverted. There is no longer a monitoring or a following of younger athletes. And so with that comes a change in the industry. And I'm going to start with high school baseball, postgraduate, high school baseball. A lot of families now thinking, I'm going to reclass. I'm going to go from the 10th grade and repeat my 10th grade year. Here's the deal. The number one thing you have to understand, and stop me if you've heard this before, it's not about you playing the game all summer. It's about you preparing to become the best version of yourself. Now, just because you play for a travel organization does not mean or indicate that you are a college caliber athlete. Nothing you do as a 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, or even 11th grade is carrying any weight at any level of college baseball. None. Zip. Zero. Nada. The sooner that we as a industry get athletes to understand things that used to be during my day are now back. It's the same in the fashion world. It's the same in the car world. It's the same with the movie remakes. Everything that is old or was old will soon be new again. So what I mean by that, college coaches now, they want at all levels. If you watched any of the JUCO Division I, Division II, or Division III World Series, and you saw the caliber of talent, if you've watched any of the NCAA Division III or Division II games, Tampa put 19 runs up in a pool play going into their regional, into their World Series final. These athletes at the college level, talented, skilled, physical, strong, speed. This is something that is developed over time. And I've said it 8 million times. I've said it in one language. I want parents to know they don't care about your 14-year-old. They don't care about your 15-year-old. They don't care where you're ranked. They don't care anything about your athlete until they get to that strength metric and that speed metric. 7'2", 7'3", 7'4" doesn't play in college unless you're a guy that hits baseballs 400, 500 feet. Throwing 82 to 84 is okay, but it's not going to get you into college baseball. So at what point do we as an industry want to share this information and truthfully prepare athletes for the college level? Because we just listened to Matt Noon last week. And this is the other frustrating thing. Every college coach that I speak to every week, Coast Guard, Nichols College, East Stroudsburg, who's an NCAA Division II World Series team, Matt Noon at Babson, pick your Division I teams. We've had every coach on here. Dave Serrano at Johnson, Brett Shelton at the Cumberlands. We've had NAIA, JUCO, NCAA. They all say the same thing. I need athletes that can impact a baseball, impact a game. And so from a recruiting standpoint, we need to slow it down. Parents, you need to educate yourself. A recruiting service. Now, I want to emphasize this because I get a lot of blowback. A 4-letter recruiting service that reaches out and has propaganda, sends you email. The 2 letters, PG, they do the same thing. They're selling you from the minute you participate in any of their events. Perfect Game and NCSA, they are one in the same. And they have, I don't know what they call them, scouts. They're not really scouts, providing you bad information. Bad information. Nobody cares about arm side run on a 14-year-old. Nobody cares about the swing plane of an 8-year-old. High school athletics, of which there are 450, 500,000 if we're being generous. High school athletes gets down to about 10% of that, about 45 to 50,000 college athletes, of which Division I is now going to, let's just call it 10,000 athletes. And in the transfer portal this week, we will probably add close to 2, maybe 2,500 additional athletes, and there's already 3,000 in there. So your student athlete at the high school level is competing against Division III, Division II, Division I, JUCO graduates, NAIA students that are trying to go to the NCAA going into the NAIA. And so without being repetitive, here's what the portal this week is going to mean. From June 2nd through the middle of July, the vast majority of recruiting resources are going to be utilized in college summer leagues. There's no easy way for me to say they used to go to the big events in Georgia and Florida and things like that. That doesn't happen. So the reality is for the next 6 weeks, nobody is really paying attention as a whole to the high school athlete. They're going to double check every guy in the portal. They're going to watch synergy video, which is like Yacker Tech and video technology that every college has, every at bat against. I can take a right-hand hitter and see how he does against right-handed pitchers or left-handed pitchers, pitchers who face left-handers from the right side. That's recruiting June 2nd through the middle of July. And then from July, mid-July, then it's PBR, area code, East Coast Pro, college camps, on campus in the late summer or mid-fall. And then October is obviously Fort Myers and Jupiter, underclass event and the upper class event. That's your recruiting season. Let's see, acts. So can any high schooler pretty much expect to wait until July at the earliest to find a place to either commit, sign? Yes. You're essentially waiting until after the draft. And this is why I wanted to have this discussion, is because the reality is coaches are no longer going to rush their decisions with regard to the high school athlete. Now, tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of names that are participating in regionals, and they increase their stock. And suddenly somebody tapped them on the shoulder and said, I don't know if you have any intention of going into the portal, but if you do, I have a team that might be interested. Now, the other part of this equation of having this discussion is every parent I talk to now wants to talk about name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness for the high school athlete, the elite high school athlete that is on the radar of Major League Scouts, they're getting money. Everybody else, not getting any money. You have to prove yourself. Some schools have a no freshmen get NIL money. Other programs, they might be in trying to entice a strong high school athlete, a tier one high school athlete who has a major league plus tool, fastball velocity, hitting power, hitting, for average, fielding, elite fielding skills, shortstop, catcher, etc. But everybody else is basically just waiting for the music to stop upstairs and then funnel downstairs. So name, image, and likeness, for the most part, is not part of the high school recruits. And also, I want to make sure that you understand name, image, and likeness creates a very big expectation and a bullseye on your back. So you really want to understand that if you do not perform at any level of college, JUCO, NCAA, NAIA, people are going to pass you by. This is now a game of what are you doing for me today? What can you do for me tomorrow? And if you don't do this for me tomorrow, the next guy gets up and they get their opportunity. So with regard to the college collective experience, I think it takes proper mindset, a true understanding of your skill sets, and a true why. What is your student athlete's why that they want to attend a certain college? And I said this a couple weeks ago, and I got a lot of response to this. You may want to go to school X, but school X may not want you. This has now become college coaches Division III. Now, I live in an area in the Northeast. I live in Massachusetts, in New England, a great deal of Division III schools in my area. I've known a lot of the coaches. Some of them I've known for several decades. Other coaches are younger, and I don't have a strong rapport with them, but they all say to a man, when I'm out recruiting, I'm looking for a specific skill set. I'm looking for a certain type of student athlete. And it's not metric based. It's about polish. It's about skill. It's about what that athlete's calling card looks like today. Does their body look like they have an awareness and an understanding of the weight room? Does their transcript tell me that they are have time management, study habits, and that they are going to be successful as a college student? So these types of things now have really overtaken the landscape. And what I wanted tonight to be about, you need to, as a family, not look at from the baseball perspective. Understand, where is your athlete today with regard to, and I'm talking about juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. At what point, and I will get to the seniors because I have a question here about seniors, 2025 graduates, 2026, 2027, 2028. You do not need to worry or think or concern yourself with college recruiting. You do not need to go to a college camp unless you're prepared to be evaluated. If you're going to a college camp to simply see the campus and learn from college coaching staff, great. If you think you're going to go to a college camp and impress somebody, you can do damage. If you're a student athlete, the body doesn't look right. The skill set is not ready to be evaluated. The foot speed is not where you need it to be. All of those things are a negative. And the coaches don't care what high school you go to. They don't care what travel team you play for. They do care about when they pick up the phone and call the high school coaches. High school baseball now and American Legion baseball now, contrary to popular belief, is more important and more It's a very, very big deal with the college coaches than the travel coaches. I'm not throwing the travel coaches under the bus. I'm not throwing travel programs under the bus. High school coaches. I don't, if you live in a community, you don't like your high school coach, I apologize in advance. But college coaches are going to call the guys that are with these guys for 3 and 4 years. They're going to talk to them about work ethic. They're going to talk to them about study habits. What type of person are you when things are not going well? What type of study habits? What type of athlete? What other sports does he play? How does he treat his teammates? Those things matter now. You can't just show up to a camp or a showcase, light up a radar gun or hit a ball off of a tee and say, okay, I think I should be recruited. It's not going to work that way anymore. As a freshman, 2028, 2027, 2026, classroom, weight room, the kitchen, your bedroom, get some sleep. These things build the athlete, build the body. Cannot tell you how many athletes and parents and families I worked with over the last 2 years that now say to me, thank you for being out in front of this. And we did the Legion, the Babe Ruth, we lifted, we got in the weight room, we did these things, and now we're going to schools that we really like. If you're at 2025, things are about to get really messy. There are a lot of 25s that are going to get calls this week saying there's no room at the inn. A lot of guys, this will go on through the whole month of June. Don't worry. Don't chase. Find an alternative. If there's no room at the inn, but you feel like you're close and somebody's not giving you the respect that you deserve, take the gap year. Get in the weight room. Do an online class. Do those types of things. There's also opportunities, whether it be a local community college where you can go and take classes. Most guys now that I know want to take online classes. Those things are all acceptable. But don't just quit on yourself because things are getting tough. You need to work through and be accountable for where you ultimately end up. Matt Noon at Babson, great video. I suggest for every parent, if you have not watched or listened to Matt Noon, Babson College is part of the NUMAC, MIT, WPI, Coast Guard, Springfield. These are great academic schools. MIT has a young man going to Tennessee next year. Babson has as athletes that have gone on to BC, Duke. The world now is, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. You're going to get 5 years of eligibility. The settlement is not done, has not been ratified. It is not, Judge Wilkin is not giving in to these roster cuts. The NCAA wants to move forward. It's not going to end well for a lot of the Olympic sport athletes who get flushed out during this settlement. And yes, the 25s and 26s are getting a bad deal. There's nothing you can do about that. And they're not penalizing the 25 and 26s. You're just collateral damage. And the lawsuits and the litigation that will come from that will carry on for years. The current lawsuit that is in front of Judge Wilkin was started in 2009. We're in 2025. So my point for parents, I understand upward transferring like JUCO to D1. I can understand moving from a D1 to another D1. What I don't understand is all the downward moving. Okay, Kyle, I get this every single day. What I want you to understand, the NCAA is taking off the gloves. The NCAA, and I'm going to be as succinct as possible, they are basically going to say, and I have said this for 2.5 years, the NCAA is essentially saying to the Power Four schools, aka professional division, we're not going to regulate you. We're not going to get in your way. You guys are going to monitor and self-supervise yourselves. We don't care if you have academic requirements, eligibility, whatever. You get 5 years if you want to stay a part of the NCAA. Other than that, you guys manage your business because you're the big boys with all the money. That's the professional division. Then you have the Olympic or the college division, and the NCAA is basically saying every single student, regardless of division, NCAA 3, 2, and 1. You want to go down, go down. You want to go up. Division 3 is an academic-centric student athlete. NESCAP, Emory, Ohio Wesleyan, Johns Hopkins. A lot of those schools are going to begin to fluctuate, aka Johns Hopkins Division 1 in lacrosse, Division 3 in baseball. A lot of schools are going to start to get into that once the NCAA settlement is done, but they're not going to penalize athletes now. Every single year is free agency. Division 3, you think you're good enough to go into Division 1? Okay, enter the portal. Same with Division 2. 1 will always either go lateral or down. 3 typically does not go lateral, they go up. 2, Division 2, NCAA typically stays in Division 2. They very rarely go up. On occasion, an elite athlete will go from NCAA Division 2 to Division 1. Parents, here's the deal. It's the strength component, the nutrition component, the sleep, and all of the supplement and sleep and hydration that goes with it. The academics, young man, Argyle, Texas, going to Abilene Christian, Division 1, NCAA, got a significant academic award that he was able to use with his athletic award. Schools are going to package money so that they can utilize at the non-professional divisions of college athletics, academic and athletic money to create the best possible package. If you have no academic transcript or any type of foundation on, you don't have to be a straight A student. You don't have to take all AP or honors. You just have to be a student in good standing. And of course, that measurement is always going to be 3.0. The number one takeaway from tonight's video and tonight's discussion, because all of these great questions that have been coming in, and Kyle, I want to answer this question for you. We have to understand the business of college is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than travel baseball, bigger than high school. Nobody's trying to step on the smaller people. They're just trying to establish the business of college athletics moving forward in the world we live in of technology and information and all the resources, television, social media, streaming, all of that is going to be founded on the backs of young athletes, football, basketball, soccer, baseball, hockey. And the NCAA wants to allow the athletes the upside of, if you think you're better than NCAA Division III, we're going to give you the opportunity to go do that. And if there's an earning opportunity, so be it. JUCO, you're not going to get 2 years free and 5 years of 4-year school. You're going to get 2 years of JUCO and maybe 3 years at the NCAA level, 2 years for NAIA, for a total of 4 in 5 years. These things you have to keep in mind. Nobody is out to hurt a 2025 or 2026. You're simply part of the collateral damage of all of the athletes that are currently in the system and all of the future litigation that will follow. My number one thing for parents is you need someone on your side. You need people that can reach out and talk to college coaches. People like Dave Serrano, Brad Shelton, Tim Corbin, Brian O'Connor, Tim Mayo, Matt Noon. All of these people are college coaches, but they're men. They're human. They are never going to be out to hurt anyone. But you have to be ready for the big boy world. You have to be ready to compete. Your skills have to be able to execute when you are called upon. And I want parents to understand this is not a measure of, do I like this young man, not like this young man? If you can, you can. If you did, you did. But if you can't, next up. That's the way the world works in every facet of life. So what I want you to understand as parents, and we're going to do this again on Tuesday. Tomorrow is the start. And if you look on social media, you're going to see a litany of people just got called. I respect this school, but no longer am I going there. I'm now opening my recruitment. I'm entering the portal. Thank you to this school. It's all about that they are chasing their rainbow. And if you're a parent, if you take baseball and you put it off to the side, look at college and think about, is this someplace that my athlete can go, enjoy 4 or 5 years, get an undergraduate degree, have a great college experience, like the city and the community, like the campus, and when they graduate, they're prepared for the real world. They're prepared to be a responsible adult that will be a future spouse, a future parent, and a member of their community. And that's what the college experience is really all about. Baseball is just a small part of that. If you feel that you need some sort of guidance, just fire me off an email. It's simple. walter@coachbeede.com. It's as simple as that. Also, get the blue book. Tuesday, I'm going to have a couple college coaches joining me for the live. Their seasons have ended, and we're going to discuss the entire process from beginning to end on Tuesday. And next week, we're going to have East Stroudsburg head coach John is going to join us. They're currently in the World Series. We're going to talk NCAA Division II baseball. Stay positive. You don't have to travel and go play a million games. You can be local. You can be in the weight room. You can enjoy your summer as a young student athlete and have an eye on your future. Your future is controlled by you as an athlete, you as a family, no one else. Have people in your student athletes inner circle that are mentors, people that bring positive and can help as a resource when your athlete gets stuck. I hope everybody's having a great week in baseball. I hope if you live in the Northeast, it's a state tournament. I hope everybody's having success with the state tournaments. I appreciate everybody joining me. Please subscribe. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I will speak with everybody on Tuesday.